Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
Yeah, I saw you were about to have like 17 intro videos, so I tried to spill some water real quick, and of course, you play nothing. You just started.
I
I'm good,
actually I
Ron.
do,
How are
do
you?
have a new video today for the rivalry that I plan on dropping after the show, but I did not get it loaded this morning because it's in TikTok format, so I didn't want a skinny video on the screen. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna just jump right into it and save the videos for later on today when we drop on the timeline. But man, it is hate week. We have plenty to go on. It's crazy that we have hate week during Thanksgiving. Like everybody's supposed to be thankful. And
Bringing
it's
people together.
like, you know what I'm thankful? Beating the shit out of those piss skunks up north. It's like everybody's all happy and cheerful, and all the Buckeye fans are like, I'm gonna get my get back this week. The Buckeyes finally have their opportunity to avenge 3 straight losses to the team up north. Plenty going on in college football. We have a special guest later today. I have plenty to get into, Q.
Yeah, we do. Everybody in here, see y'all in here early. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you were on Twitter, go ahead and like, retweet, all that good stuff, as well as in the community. Do all that. If you're on audio, I will get that updated today after the show. I got to do that. So I will do that for you. But that's all the spring cleaning I have right now. Ryan, you got
Can we give a
anything?
shout out to our guy Bezo?
Hold on.
First one in the chat said, fuck the ops. That's the type of energy that I need during hate week. Bring in the heat early in the morning. So make sure we give a shout out to him and a big shout out to our guy, Charles Green. Shout out to the members out there.
There we go. All right. You got anything else before we jump into it? Shout out to them.
Pay the teachers.
All right, let's jump into it. Okay. So Ohio State yesterday received a commitment. We had Jordan Woods flip from Cincinnati, as they put out online, 6'5", 197 corner. I think he's 6'4", but we got a new commitment. Ron, what do you think about Jordan Woods?
The first thing I thought is they clearly got his height off of the basketball roster because that's the only place that you list yourself that much taller than your actual listing. I saw 6'5" posted by Hayes Fawcett, and then I looked at 247, and they had him listed at 6'3". This commitment was a bit confusing for me because we had a commitment of someone that has the name of a famous person. So the first thing that comes up is Carl Anthony Towns' girlfriend when I searched Jordan Woods. But when I finally did get through the huddle and found him, I'm like, this dude's ridiculous. Like I saw a play where someone got behind him on a double move. And bro is just so tall, just turns around and yanks it out of the air anyways and still gets the pick. He looks super athletic. Uses his height to his advantage out there. Super excited to see what he does. I think a lot of Buckeye sites have been calling him a safety. I'm guessing the plan is to move him from corner to safety eventually. I know we also offered another cornerback recently, a 3-star from commit to Michigan State. So something to keep an eye on there. But yeah, the Jordan Woods commitment. You love to see this time of year the Buckeyes do some flipping versus being flipped like we normally see during this time of the year. It doesn't seem like the Buckeyes are sitting on their hands as National Signing Day approaches on December 4th. So exciting to see the Buckeyes out there getting active on the trail.
Yeah, it almost seems like year in, year out, there is some defensive back that's absolutely crazy in the state that goes somewhere else. And we're like, how do we not get that guy? Like, I don't care who you have committed. He's a pro. So it's good to see we flip Jordan Woods. We've talked about keeping the Ohio talent in Ohio, especially what did we say? The top 10 best players in Ohio should always end up on the commitment list. I don't care what position. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they like growing up. They should up on this roster. So it's good to see Ohio State keep one of their own in roster. So good to see that there. So thanks for the commitment, Jordan Woods, and happy to be a Buckeye. All right, we have Naheem Alford. Now this is going the other way. He gets a crystal bomb, a Fong bomb to Auburn. So famously, we've seen his dad online say he's not flipping, but we've seen a lot of people say, oh, he's going this way, he's going that way, and they offer here and they offer there. But I got to go to the Ron 3 expert, Ron. Naeem Hawford, what do you think's going on? What's going to happen?
I mean, it feels like this has always been an Ohio State Auburn battle. You see Auburn flipping Deuce Knight and them starting to put the class together. It'd be the second cornerback that they flipped from the Buckeyes, being that they already signed Blake Woodby, another former Ohio State commit. So I guess they really are doing some lazy recruiting and saying, you know, just go after whoever the Buckeyes have. It seems like everybody around the nation is doing the same thing with Cincinnati. You saw Cincinnati recently get flipped for a bunch of players, Ohio State, Florida, a bunch of teams coming after that class. I saw people say on the timeline yesterday, you have to give credit to the evaluation at Cincinnati with all the flips that you're seeing from them last minute from some of these bigger schools. So it's just crazy to see what's going on in flip season. I think Naeem Offord is going to go down to the wire. I feel like the Buckeyes aren't going to give up on that one until it is completely over, but it's not looking great for the Buckeyes, and it seems like an Auburn lean at the moment. We live in crazy times now with high school recruiting. So I saw someone post, they said, how the hell are we third in his recruitment and he's committed to us? That's the type of articles we're getting these days.
Well, certainly was first at one time. Like I said, we've seen crazier things. I mean, even his dad came out on Instagram, I believe, and said he wasn't flipping. This was a few weeks ago, but this is college recruiting. Things certain happen. There's certain opportunities you cannot turn down. So we will see as it goes down to the wire. Right now, like I said, I'll wait till I see it. I think I said that when we talked about it months ago. It hasn't happened yet. It's been talked about being flipped for, it feels like, longer than he's been committed. So we will see what happens down to the wire, but I'll hold out some level of confidence. I don't care what Steve Wilfong says. What does he know?
We've seen him get it wrong plenty of times before.
Okay. Now, speaking of Auburn, I have some Auburn versus Bama trash talk. We don't have the only rivalry game this season, this week. We have another one. So I'm going to ask you, fair or foul? So Auburn true freshman linebacker DeMarcus Riddick said on Ryan Williams, I quote, Ryan Williams ain't no big-time player to me. I will not lose to Bama while I'm here. Fair or foul, seeing that Auburn has won just as many games as they lost?
I don't even know if fair or foul is the right segment. I think we put the wrong segment on this. I think there should be factor cap, and I'm going cap as a motherfucker. Ryan Williams is one of the best wide receivers in the country, and Alabama will absolutely beat Auburn at least once in the next 3 years. So I don't know if it's fair. Say whatever you want, but it's cap. It's fair cap. If I had to classify it, is what I would go with. Fair cap.
I'm going fact. I'm buying stock in DeMarcus Riddick. I'm saying I'm with him. Ryan Williams, who is that? I haven't seen him on ESPN. I've seen DeMarcus Riddick making crazy plays against Georgia on the ESPN. No, I think this is absolute crazy talk. I will not lose the band while I'm here. Sure, it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Maybe you feel confident in your team. You did just upset Texas A&M, but the Ryan Williams ain't no big-time player than me. Ryan Williams is the youngest player in college football as we know it, and he's absolutely burst on the scene. It is maybe worth the most in college football as of NIL value right now, given his age and time he still has left.
How old is he? They've never mentioned that.
Yeah, every week, but that does not matter. I'm all good for trash talk, whether it's fact or cap. So, hey, I need more of this, more crazy talk as we go on. So we will see on Saturday what happens with that in the Iron Bowl. Okay, so I have this that I was going to ask you yesterday, but I think this is absolutely insane. So 9 different teams in the Big 12 are in contention for the championship game. As we saw, Colorado went down. BYU went down. It was absolutely a crazy week. So I want to ask, which has had a crazier season this season? the SEC, who is absolutely all over the place and out of their minds, or the Big 12, who we have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, Arizona State, I was talking crazy about Arizona State because I was like, Arizona State has never been good. Look around. I can't drive past Tempe without hearing the stadium because they found out how to win and recruit with warm weather and the greatest party school ever invented, according to them. So who has had the crazier season?
According to them, I seen what them parties look like, bro. They are elite. I tell you.
According to the rankings, the non-football rankings.
On the Ron 3 rankings, Arizona State, #1 campus in America. What's the question? I got distracted by the Arizona State milk. What?
Who's had the crazier season? The SEC or the Big 12?
It's absolutely the SEC, because a week ago they were telling motherfuckers we're so good, y'all can't decide a championship without 6 of us. And then they all went and lost to 5-5 teams. Like, the SEC has had an insane season. They're trying to convince us that it's the greatest conference in college football that we've ever seen, with 5 national championship contenders, and you get 3 teams in the playoffs, maybe?
Something like that.
And it's so perfect, though. We're revisiting this on a Tuesday because someone on this platform just last week said we only need 4 teams to decide the national champion. And then a bunch of teams that are on the fringe of this 12-team playoff. I heard Josh Pate say yesterday that there's no way that you're going to convince me, after we just went from a 2-team system to decide the national champion to a 4-team system to decide the national champion, that we are going to sit here and argue about whether the number 13 team got robbed on their opportunity to win the national championship. In no other scenario would these teams be involved in a national championship conversation. We're talking about, is the number 15 South Carolina a national championship contender? Fuck no. Like, when have we... Please tell me who was the 15th ranked team last year in the college football playoff rankings. I'm going to go back and find last year's year-end rankings.
Yeah,
but it has to be the SEC, because they came out so boisterous about how many competitors that they have and how this is the most dominant league that they might need to start a new fucking sport and call it SEC ball. I just don't see how they're not the craziest season. I know the Big 12's all over the place. I feel like the biggest story over there is what Colorado has been able to do. But I mean, we looked at the Big 12 rankings at the beginning of the season, and I'm like, BYU, Iowa, I don't believe in none of this shit. Like, I know it's going to be a disaster over there.
Well, I have to contradict you here, and I got to go with the Big 12 this season while you look up those rankings. I think the Big 12 has absolutely been insane. I mean, we talk week after week about how Colorado was the most exciting team, no matter who they were playing, no matter how much they were favored or not favored by in college football. Arizona State, who has been bad for who knows how long, is back with Coach Dillingham at the helm. BYU has had an absolute crazy season. I mean, 9 teams going into the final week of college football, and they're all in contention to play in the championship. I mean, Kansas is out here breaking hearts. They are the Auburn, the Florida, the whoever of the Big 12. I just feel like the Big 12 has not got enough credit, because we know they probably hold no real contenders in college football. But if you talk about week to week absolutely craziness and who's had a crazier season based off expectations, I mean, I think they stack up as well as anybody. But while I'm doing that, and while you look it up, we have a special guest in the building.
I do have the note, so we can get to Terry and have him comment on this. And I want to get your thoughts here, too. The number 15 team in the college football playoff rankings last year. Powerhouse. Drum roll, please. Louisville. So I ask you, fellas, could Louisville have won the national championship last year?
Of course they could have. They would have steamrolled everyone.
While we're at it, real quick, who was Louisville's quarterback last year?
Who was Louisville's quarterback last year? I really do not remember. I don't recall.
Because it was a nobody. They were talking about Tyler Van Dyke mid-season last year. So we knew that Louisville was not it. But yeah, I just don't think that it's necessary. I think it's cool for the sport to see a lot of these teams. And one of the things that we worried about was the 12-team playoff devaluing the regular season, and it seems like it almost added to the regular season this year. Your guys' thoughts there? Do you feel like it added to the regular season, or do you think it took away from it?
First off, man, what's up with you guys?
How's it going, Terry? Yeah, I mean, we need to get. Bro, you're just a regular around here no more.
I know, but hey, I gotta say what's up to you guys.
Absolutely. I don't even put special guest in front of the name, but at the same time, it's like you're moving into Pat Chris Drew territory around here, where it's like you're borderline regular on this platform. So, very special guest, but at the same time, you're special no more.
Nah, but how's it going, Terry? It's going good, man. It's going really good. Y'all is having an interesting conversation here, but I just popped into so.
Well, let's get your opinion first of all. The Big 12 has had an absolutely crazy season. The SEC has had an absolutely crazy season. Which conference would you say it's been crazier and the least expectations you've had have been broken?
I mean, the SEC, dude. I mean, the Big 12 coming into the year, you just kind of look at that conference. You're like, I don't know who the hell is going to win that conference. I mean, you can make assumptions about a couple teams, but even those didn't fill out. But the SEC's been all over the place. And I mean, I don't know, man. It's like the SEC fans, they want to tell us that they're just beating up on each other. But at the same time, like, you're losing the teams that lost to, like, I mean, who did Vanderbilt lose to? Like Georgia Southern or something like that. Like, and then they beat Alabama. It's like, you can't tell me that your conference is beating up on each other if you're losing to Georgia Southern too. Like, I don't know. So I definitely got to go with the SEC there.
Yeah, let me ask this follow-up. I've criticized the ACC for being absolutely abysmal week to week and saying Miami has played absolutely nobody. If Miami was in the Big 12, Terry, how many losses do they have this season?
If Miami was in the Big 12?
Yes.
Probably 2. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that conference ain't too much different than the ACC.
Ron.
Yeah, I'm right there with Terry. I don't think that the Big 12 is that much better than the ACC. I just feel like I feel like the biggest problem with college football this year is these conferences don't have elite teams. So everybody's confused by how good everybody is, and it gets inflated because most of these conferences are more centered around the middle instead of the top, and you have a bunch of teams that look the same. It feels like the Spider-Man meme all across college football where all of these teams, you can't tell the difference. I mean, one week it's like, man, BYU is going to run away with the conference, and then they drop 2 straight. So I feel like this season is filled with a bunch of non-elite teams. I feel like the 2 best teams in the country already played each other, and they're in a conference with not that many elite teams. I think Oregon and Ohio State are starting to show themselves as the cream of the crop as far as the elite in college football right now.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right,
I think we kind of did this last week real quick, Q. Sorry to interrupt you, man. I think we kind of did this last week when we were talking about like the 4 teams that we thought could possibly win the national championship. And I mean, to me, what the playoff does, dude, the playoff is not going to make it to where like you just see some random team that got left out because they lost because I don't know. Hold on, let me gather my thought here. Anyway, the playoff is basically going to make it where you don't have the team that would have been the eventual national champion left out of the playoffs. That's kind of what, you know what I mean? So like last year, like, can we with confidence say that Georgia wouldn't have won the national championship last year if they got in? Like, I mean, I know they lost to Alabama, but if you look at it from the actual, like, the 2 teams that played in the national championship, Michigan and Washington, like, Georgia probably would beat either one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Georgia was probably the best team last year. Yeah. And they can give them the chance to defend their championship. I thought they were, to be honest. I was like, they're in, they probably would win it.
Yeah. You can go ahead now, Q. My bad. I just wanted to.
Oh, no worries. We got a couple super chats that I want to get into before we pivot to the Michigan game. Shout out to our guy, Mike Green. Thanks for the tune. Fellas, if we run for 150, we good against Teton. I mean, it holds true in the game. Whichever team rushes for more yards wins the game. Do the Buckeyes finally do it and rush for more yards? on Saturday?
I think God was showing us the light over here. Apparently, we do, because Terry couldn't do anything to block the sun out.
I know, dude.
There's your answer.
I couldn't believe it. I looked at myself. I'm like, man, what the heck? It was like shining bright, but honestly, I don't know though, dude. I don't know if we can outrush Michigan just because I don't think they're going to be able to throw the ball at all. So that might be their only offense. So they might rush for 120 yards and finish with 170 or something. You know what I mean? Like, and we may finish with 120 yards, but 400 total. Or, you know, obviously those are just numbers I'm throwing out, but I don't know if we're going to actually outrush them. But I hope that we do just for narrative purposes. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully we rush for 250.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, definitely with a makeshift offensive line. Michigan's front seven, you know, is still very good. It is interesting, but you know they're not going to throw for anything. So basically, that's all they have is the running game. I got to back Terry on that one and agree.
Yeah, appreciate the. I disagree. I feel like the Buckeyes have to rush for more yards than this Michigan team. I mean, it holds true in every game, and I feel like the Buckeyes, you can tell the Buckeyes struggle when they become one-dimensional, not because the offense is limited, but just because what makes them great is their balance. So I'd like to see them have success in the run game, especially with all the shit that they talk about. Oh, tough they are. Like, if we can't go run the ball on them, I'll be pretty disappointed. Like, we went out and got Quinshawn Judkins, a battering ram, to go in there and hopefully, you know what I mean, be able to help this game. We have a 6'4", 240-pound quarterback. Hopefully he's able to run in this game. So I would hope that the Buckeyes are able to outrush them, despite I feel like you guys making fair points that they can get it done without doing that. I want to get to another super chat. Again, thanks for the 5, Mike Green. Day said the loss to the team up north was the worst, second to his father's passing. Bro can't be tight, no Diddy this year. Bruh, ND to hit a home run before the game? I don't know. I'm not following the last part, but as far as bro need to hit some. I don't know. I'm lost there on the last part. But as far as Ryan Day's comments, I mean, it feels like a change of tune from year one, because it felt like after year one he mainly thought of it as just a game, and I feel like the conversation and the toxicity around Columbus, this fan base, this team, these losses has changed Ryan Day's tune, and it has elevated to how much these losses have worn on him to go from just a game to one of the worst moments in his life, to compare it with the tragedy of losing his father. So, I mean, I think it speaks to the gravity of this game and how Ryan Day feels and understands the importance of this game. And I feel like that was one of the criticisms of Ryan Day early in his tenure, that, hey, he just doesn't get the rivalry. He's a Northeastern guy. He hasn't lived it. I mean, Ryan Day has lived through hell the last 3 years as far as this fan base's reaction to that team. So if he doesn't get it now, he'll never get it. But clearly from his comments in the press conference, he seems to fully understand the gravity of this game and what it means to the fans, the players, the entire state of Ohio. So I love to hear that attitude.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't know. I don't feel like is not like hasn't taken it seriously. I feel like this team has completely shot themselves in the foot. 3 games in a row of just doing uncharacteristic things under pressure, where it's like they're worried about it too much, not going out there and playing good football. But as Kyle McCord famously said, make 0 mistakes, play perfect ball, which we know is impossible in a football game. No matter really how good you are, there's a chance you're gonna mess up on something. So. We will see if he can right us wrongs, but this is one of those times where it's like, you're the better team. You know you are. Go out there, play good football, execute, get it done, and let's get through this game without y'all doing headbutting people or doing something completely stupid that doesn't make any sense. So that's where I'm at with it.
It's one of the first times that I've ever kind of like felt sorry for Ryan Day, bro. That comment that he made. No, listen, hold on, Ron, before you say no, listen, hear me out. Every single time Ryan Day has ever lost a game, bro, it's his fault. And I blame it on him. Everybody blames it on him. He gets fired. And listen, when you're at Ohio State, that's kind of just the price that you pay to have this job, right? That's what it is. Bro, Ryan Day didn't just say, like, I felt it. He was like, we felt it. My family felt it. And he really was like speaking with his heart when he said that shit. So listen, for him, I hope that we go out.
But I mean, anybody that suffered these last 3 losses and anyone that's had to deal with them in their life, they felt it. They dealt with it.
Listen,
they heard the phone calls. Everybody is wearing this.
All right, Ron. You ever had to have police at your house to make sure the fans would kill you? It's a little.
I know. Ron was layer. Like, no.
Ron's from Pittsburgh. What does he know about the rivalry? Right. Like, it's a little. I think Ryan Day has felt it maybe a little bit more in the last couple of years.
No, obviously Ryan Day has felt it more the past couple of years, but I feel like. I mean, does he need death threats? No. But should he feel it? Sure.
I was from New Hampshire in 2019.
Would you say?
Would you say, Q?
I said, Ryan Day's looking like, man, I was from New Hampshire in 2019. I got it then.
That's hilarious. Hey, they've been putting Ryan Day through hell, man. That's all I'm saying. You could tell by that statement. He was like, me and my family been through hell. Basically what he said, which, I mean, that's what we do here. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta win that game.
Yeah, leave his family out of it. Some of the fan behavior gets completely ridiculous, but at the same time, like, you're at Ohio State, beat the team up north, and I don't think there's many fans that are going to be protesting in front of Ryan Day's house if they beat the team up north. So
yeah, and I promise you that there was history that told you before you took this job that this was going to happen if you didn't take care of business. So
absolutely,
it's not like we hide it.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the gravity of this game and how it's impacted Ryan Day. I had a conversation on the timeline last night regarding the toll that it's taken on fans, so much so that they might be so elated on Saturday, they might rush the field. I'm here to tell you that will be the biggest embarrassment in program history if they run on the field after this game. Have some pride. Look at the record over the last 20 years against this team. If you run on the field after beating them, that concedes the fact that you thought that we would never do this again, or that you're so moved by it. I was talking to a former student that said there's seniors that have suffered through all 3 years and have never got to see this win. They deserve this moment. And I said bullshit, because that is not a part of the Ohio State experience. If you were at Wake Forest, if you were at some bullshit-ass school not named Ohio State where you didn't have college football playoff expectations, Big Ten championship expectations, those types of things, and your biggest win is a win at Vanderbilt over Alabama or Tennessee where you're ripping the goalpost down, like, it's been 4 years since we beat them. Like, it's not that crazy of a time that we need to rush the field. Like, I just, if you told me the Buckeyes were going to rush the field for a barely bowl eligible team this year, I'd be disgusted.
I disagree with you, Ron. I think that you're talking about the rivalry. You're talking about the biggest rivalry in sports, right? That's what we say. You're talking about the rivalry where they used to burn the damn city down after a win back in the day.
Go burn the city down. Get off the fucking field.
Hey,
go get in line for the club. That's what I'm saying.
I would rather than rush the field than burn the city down. Oh, sorry, but
burn the stadium down so we can get a new state-of-the-art stadium.
That's what I'm saying.
Burn the turf.
Go rip down that scoreboard. Go rip down the whole PA system.
All right.
Oh, man, I just think.
Can I hit back and ask a question? Did you have any issue when they stormed the field in 2016 during the JT was short game? Because we hadn't lost to Michigan in 6 years, and they still stormed the field. It was a top 3 matchup, but they did storm the field on that game.
And a crazy ending. Like, there was more to that game. If we go out there and beat their ass and then run on the field and start twerking because we beat Michigan, like, I'm not, bro.
I agree with that. If we beat their ass, you don't storm the field. I agree with that 100%. Now, if it comes down to it being a close game, which it shouldn't. That'd be another conversation because this team should be better than them. I know you throw the records out the window, but anyway, if it came down to a blowout, you definitely don't storm the field. I agree with you there, Ron.
Well, man, everybody, y'all do what y'all have to do. I just don't see it. And like, I just put Ohio State in such an elite category of it is people's Super Bowls when they beat us. We expect to win every time we step on the field. So this idea that we're so moved by a win is just crazy to me. And I had to look it up because I think of Ohio State football like Duke basketball. And one of the big things about Duke basketball is we don't storm the court. People storm the court on us all the damn time. And I had to look it up. When's the last time Duke stormed the court? 2005. And you know when they did it? A regular season half-court buzzer beater against a fucking non-tournament team, Virginia Tech. Unacceptable. They should have kept their asses in the stands then. They've rushed the court 2 times in my lifetime, and only one of them was acceptable. It was a 1-2 matchup against North Carolina in 97 to end the season. We are playing a barely bowl-eligible team that we are a 3-touchdown favorite for. That is crazy to me.
Wait, was that Virginia Tech game the one where they were able to take 3 dribbles in 0.7 seconds and still get a shot off without the time moving at all? Yeah, you deserve to storm the court. You just bought a
win. See, I see Goj say, I'm going to jail Saturday. That's what I'm saying. Don't do it on the field. Go tear Columbus up. Hit the streets.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily co-sign.
A question from Johnny for everybody in the chat and up here: is this our Super Bowl? Is this our national championship?
It is to me.
It's not. Dude, oh, that makes my skin crawl.
Listen, okay, so here, look at Alabama right now. Okay, Nick Saban retired. Kalen DeBoer took over. It's a mess down there. They lost 3 games already this year. The Auburn just came out and said we're beating their ass. That's what their players just said. Listen, for Ohio State, with the way that Ryan Day is cooking right now, basically everything that he's supposed to be doing, he's cooking in, except for he's lost to Michigan, and this thing is hanging over his head. And Ron, I know that you're saying that they won't fire Ryan Day, and I agree with you. Ross Bjork is not going to fire Ryan Day, but you're going to tell me the fan base is not going to want him fired if they lose to Michigan?
That's
this year?
Wanting him fired and running on the field when you still have a chance to win the national championship as the number 2 team in the country is mind-blowing to me. I just can't get myself in the mental state where, like, the way we used to talk to Michigan fans prior to this 3-year run and the lack of respect that we had given this team, the fact that you would throw all of that – oh, they're cheaters. They only beat us because they cheated. They only beat us because they cheated. And then to, like, run on the field and take your shirt off and just, like, go crazy. Like, oh, my God! I just don't get – I mean, I'm going to be absolutely going crazy and losing my mind. I don't think that it has anything to do with the excitement of the moment. I don't know. I think higher of Ohio State than running on the field for beating Michigan.
Well, maybe they don't run on the field because they beat Michigan. Maybe they run on the field because they've survived a crazy injury of offensive line season. It's a celebration of this is the team. We just won a good moment.
Do we not have parades after national championships? Is there not a celebration for the Natty? Does that not exist?
You can't storm the field on the Natty. Like,
yeah, everybody's getting arrested. Listen,
I'm just saying, bro. Go storm the field, hold your signs up, throw a party there as a celebration of a good season. Obviously, I will take it as we beat Michigan. Yeah, I mean they're 500. Yeah, of course we beat Michigan, but if they want to storm the field to get their frustration and actually felt like we had a good season and finally didn't disappoint on the last game, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not for it, but this is the last time we played the shoe.
So if the Buckeyes were to storm the field after beating a 6-5 Michigan team or whatever the hell their record is about to be, and then go on to lose the Big Ten championship and having ceded the conference to a different team and not win the Big Ten, how goofy is that video going to look?
I mean, you wouldn't know that on Saturday.
Ain't nobody going to care about that video, man.
You have to hope your team continues to play well. But it's like, I can't be like, oh, hey, wait. What if we lose to Boise State in the semifinal? It's like, no, I'm not going to think about that. Like,
go ahead.
Ron, I think you're trying to take the fun out of college football.
No, I'm not trying to take the fun. They've stormed the field 90 fucking times. There have not been 90 field storming warranted scenarios this season. So the fact that in a season where a bunch of teams that have nothing to root for, no national championship to cheer for, no Big Ten championship to potentially compete for, no playoff game to meet, they run on the field because it is their Super Bowl. It is the most exciting moment that will be given to them by their team. If the Buckeyes,
what if it is, dude? Ron, let me ask you this: did you know that last year in the Notre Dame game, when Kyle led that game-winning drive, that was going to be the high point of our season?
I did.
Did you know that?
I did.
Storm the field.
I did. Q, did I not get on the postgame show and say, hey, this could be the best win of the year, so you better fucking smile.
I remember
you better
that.
put a fucking smile on your face. I logged on to Q's postgame and I said, you motherfuckers better start smiling because you might not get a more exciting win than this one.
We also do that. That's why we look like devastated. Like, oh shit!
I remember now. Ron was trying to get everybody together.
I said, if we look like this against Notre Dame, y'all better fucking get excited because this is the most exciting moment that we're gonna have because you're gonna have misery the rest of the season. So get your excitement now. I'm of the mindset that I believe that my team is good enough to win a national championship. I believe that they're good enough to win the Big Ten. I'm not getting on the field and twerking for beating a fucking.
What if they're not though, Ron? What if this Michigan game is the high point of the season?
Ryan Day better get in fucking bed because it's going to get a lot harder to sleep.
Hey, all I'm saying is enjoy the ride. I'm not mad if people want to hit the field and
take the goalpost
for a team that's had a good season going into the Big 12. I mean, going to Big 10 championship to play Oregon. Like, enjoy the ride. It may not be, we finally beat Michigan, but you want to storm the field and celebrate because it's been 3 years. You feel like your team has a good chance. You want to have that moment with players who all came back to stay for a fourth year to do everything they said they weren't going to do. I'm not going to be mad at it. And then if somebody asks you why you storm the field, hey, we're celebrating the season. We want to have a good time. We always talk about the atmosphere in Columbus while everyone should be like, oh, we beat Michigan. Good day, sir. And like walk out the stadium all uniform, like
they should. They should. Everybody should stand up and look at each other and say, "Job's not done." Like we're trying to win a national championship. Like what are we talking about?
Ron, what does fans stand for? Fanatic. We're not supposed to be businessmen.
Right.
No, we're not supposed to be businessmen. You can't talk to Michigan the way that you've talked to them for the last 25 years, like their little brother, like you're going to beat their ass every year, like beating them is a formality, and then start twerking when you beat them. You cannot. Look, here, someone said Ron's turning into an old head. No. This has been my mentality towards fandom because I've been a front runner my entire life. I'm from Pittsburgh. I've rooted for the Steelers. I'm root for Duke basketball. I root for Ohio State football. It is people's Super Bowl when they beat my team. Go watch the fucking Browns celebrate after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. They were popping champagne in the fucking locker room with 3 wins. That's the type of shit loser organizations and fan bases do.
Hey, Q, Ron,
if the Browns fans want to run on the field on Saturday, they get a pass. That's who can do it. If you're a Browns fan, you can run on the field on Saturday. Bengals fans, you just played in an AFC championship and Joe Burrow's your quarterback. Everybody else sit it out. Browns fans, you guys can have this moment.
make Ohio State fun again.
Yeah, he might do all this talking and get on the post game and show his ass after a win.
That's fine, but guess where I'm not going to be doing the fucking post game from?
He'd be on the field if he wasn't on camera.
I would not, bro. If I was in the stadium and everybody rushed the field, I'd be like, I'll see y'all niggas on High Street. Like, let me know when you get out of the stadium. I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go start drinking somewhere else. I'm not running on the field as an Ohio State fan. Gojay said it's not in my DNA. I'm from Pennsylvania. I don't get the rivalry. I guess that's what it is. I don't get the rivalry. Maybe I thought Ohio State was something that we were not. Let's run on the field and shake ass.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No, not damned if you don't. If you don't, and no one's gonna be like, "Damn, Ohio State didn't rush the field." Like, who's out there gonna be like, "Damn, rush the field"?
You're right
all
about that.
Have our old school pipes just lighted with.
Yeah,
I just like. I mean,
jacket on.
Even after the Oregon loss, they put a duck on the field. Why? Because that meant so much to them. Michigan plants a flag. Why? Because that meant so much to them. Beating them means a ton. Ryan Day has to do it. He just spoke on what this rivalry means to the fan base. But at the same time, it means that much because such a high percentage of the fan base has become so accustomed to beating this team on a regular basis. So to go from spending 2/3 of your life talking about this team has no chance to beat me the third Saturday in November to, oh my God, I'm so joyously moved. I'm running out of my seat onto the field and trespassing. Oh, okay, I guess that's where we are as a fan base. That's where Ryan Day has brought us to.
That boy Ron hates storming the field.
I do. Storming the field, storming the court. I think it is the most. It is the most loser behavior in all of sports. If your team rushes the field in the court, that's because you didn't expect to win. It's a celebration reserved for loser schools. I'm sorry. It is.
I mean, we don't ever do. Ohio State doesn't ever really do.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a rite of passage. It's not like jumping in Mirror Lake. It's not a tradition of, if you enroll at Ohio State, you're going to see one upset where you rush the field. It's not a part of Ohio State tradition. It's not something everyone's like, what happened? We haven't. 2016. It's almost a fucking decade ago. It's not something that we do. Have fun on the field. Take some pictures. Send them in.
Your big red boots on.
I would. I'm sending you a picture right next.
Take all the flicks to make sure you get one with Coach Alfred. All that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We got one more super chat before we get out of here. Q is talking like he's a pimp talking to a potential new talent, trying to make it sound okay. Man, stop it. It's corny.
Hey, man.
That's all I'm trying to say, man. Like.
Hey.
You don't talk if you run on the field on Saturday, don't talk shit to Michigan fans. When people say it is your Super Bowl, tell them yes, it is my Super Bowl. Tell them I'm fine with not winning national championships as long as we beat Michigan, because I feel like that's what that signifies. You are so moved by this. You couldn't believe that we've done it. Like, all right. Have your moment.
Like if your team comes out and performs for a season on the last home game of the year, it's okay to yell, throw your team in.
Yeah, see? This guy, Brian, gets it. Stay in your seats and throw things at Sharon Moore. That's that type of energy. That's the type of shit that I need. Everybody wants to trespass. If we're going to assault is what we're looking for, not trespassing.
You can't arrest us all.
I don't even know why we're having this conversation. We just had to beg our fans to be loud for a top 5 matchup. Ain't nobody storming no damn field.
Absolutely. Yes, they are.
They ain't going to do it, Ron. They're not going to do it, bro. I promise you they're not doing it.
Huh?
They're not doing it. Me and Cuban in here just defending something that's not even going to happen. Okay, we're defending an idea. They're not going to do it.
I have $1 out of Ron's bank account for everyone who storms the field on Saturday. I have checks already signed.
He's really gonna hate it then.
But yeah, man, that's all I really have. I just wanted to make sure that I made a public service announcement that I'll be severely disappointed in anyone that runs on the field.
Punk says if we lose, they're definitely storming the field because Ryan Day's gonna have to.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. That would be an acceptable situation to storm the field, not because we won, because we demand such a higher standard. That would require a field storming. They carry Ryan Day out of the stadium like the field goal post and throw him in the river.
Oh no.
But that's all I have for you guys. It's my passionate defense against running on the field. Q, Terry, anything you got before we get out of here?
Just make sure you guys tune into the Fans Edge this Wednesday. It's gonna be a big time show. Me and Mike, 7:30 Eastern time. That's it, man.
Yeah, Q. Let the people know where they can find you.
Go ahead, Terry. Go let people know where
you can find me at CFB_stop. And then, like Ron told you in the beginning, all over Best Damn Media. Like I said, Wednesday, we're going to kind of deep dive into this Ohio State Michigan game, and then talk about some of the other rivalries this weekend. So make sure y'all tune in there. But that's it, Q. We got it, brother.
Yeah, man. It's been a good week so far. A few hundred people in here. So if you're in here, go ahead and like that video on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, like and retweet. Appreciate y'all coming through, bringing the energy. Mike Green with all the super chats, the members, Oreen, Charles Green. Appreciate that. All the familiar faces in here. It's good to see y'all every morning. If you want to find me, Seaway Quitting on Twitter, Lionel Johnson Instagram, Minor League Films here. If you like movies, Ron, get us out of here.
Yeah, if you want to find me on Saturday, I know one place you won't find me on the field if the Buckeyes win. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TES. You can find us here weekdays for the Buckeye Roast here with my guy QP Ski. Wednesdays in the Bleacher Report app at 5 p.m. for our weekly previews with Chris Drew. Saturdays on the Best Day on the Menace Sports platform for the Best Damn College pregame show and post games with Chuck on Buck. And then, of course, Sundays, Buckeye BS. Be sure to tune in. That's all I have. One final plea to keep your ass in the stands on Saturday. And remember what a loser behavior that was to plant a flag in Ohio Stadium and know that we are not losers like that. It's always go Bucks. Stay off the field. And, of course, OH.
Get on the field, IO.
Rush the field.